Hi guys, welcome back. So this video is our Game Week 19 Game Week Preview. So usually I don't do Game Week Preview videos, but this week there's so much news that we're receiving, potential double game weeks, etc. So lots of important things to talk about. So I decided to put together this video to update you guys, and I hope you guys find it useful. And just before we jump into all that, there's a small announcement that I like to make. So recently I hit my target of 100 subscribers by Christmas. Thank you all so much for your support. So in the spirit of giving, I'm going to donate $2 for every new subscriber from now to the end of the year. So if you want to support the channel and also donate to charity, do hit that subscribe button. We are currently at 128 subscribers, so we've raised $56. And yeah, I really appreciate all the support I can get. So alright, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so let's talk about Game Week 19, which is the game week that is right upon us. So the previous Game Week 18 was a real mess, and there was a lot of talk about the Premier League being put on hold or maybe even postponing an entire game week. So there was talk of Game Week 20 being entirely postponed. So on Monday, the Premier League actually held an emergency meeting to talk about all this. And after the meeting, the Premier League actually released a statement to say that the league's collective intention is to continue the current fixture schedule where safely possible. So of course, even though they say this, we do not know how the COVID situation will develop moving forward. And of course, the health and safety of the players, fans, and everyone involved is top priority. But it does seem at the moment that the games will go on. So just to take a look at the status of some of the clubs currently. So as we can see here, a screenshot from the Fantasy Premier League Telegram channel. So basically, what we can see is that the clubs expected to play in Game Week 19 are Liverpool, Leeds, Norwich, Arsenal, Spurs, Crystal Palace, West Ham, and Southampton. And then we also see there are clubs that are minor doubts with fixtures that may be postponed. So Man City and Leicester, Newcastle and Manchester United, and also Wolves versus Watford. So the major doubts for Game Week 19 are the Burnley, Everton, Villa, Chelsea, and the Brighton, Brentford game. So those are the ones that, may have a higher chance of being postponed. And, we have to wait up till the deadline just to see, if any news comes up so that we don't get stuck in situations where we play with, 6 to 7 players just because of last minute postponements. So even though it does seem that the games are going ahead, there is a possibility that those that are still hit by the COVID-19 COVID situation may still postpone their games for Game Week 19. So do keep a lookout for that. Alright, so now on to the more exciting news. So we all have been waiting and anticipating news about when the double game weeks for the season will come, and it's actually sooner than expected. So according to our fixture man Ben Krellin, all this information is taken from him, and he's basically our guy for the latest fixture schedules. So it does seem that a double game week in Game Week 22 is quite certain, and also there is suggestion about a double game week in Game Week 2021, but that is less likely to happen. But I will get into that later, so let's focus on Game Week 22 first. So Eurosport UK tweeted that it has abandoned plans for replays in the third and fourth rounds of the FA Cup to make room for league games rearranged due to COVID-19. So this is kind of a declaration that there will be double game weeks occurring during that period. So if we look at the fixture chart taken again from Ben Krellin, we will see that there are quite a number of teams that will have a double game week in Game Week 22. And I've bolded Crystal Palace, Manchester United, and Watford because I do think they do have the best fixtures in the double game week 22. And we may want to keep a lookout for the players in these teams and possibly bring them into our team in preparation for the double game week in Game Week 22. Now, next up, looking at the first tweet. Now, the Premier League are also trying to free up the second midweek in Game Week 21 by requesting to reduce the Carabao Cup semi-final to a one-off tie. So the next tweet also goes on to say that if this doesn't happen, it is still possible to have double game week for teams not involved in the Carabao Cup for Game Week 21. So when we look at the updated fixture chart now, it is quite amazing that we may find ourselves in a possible double game week 21 and 22 situation. Of course, this chart is slightly different from the previous one. Some of the fixtures may now fall in Game Week 21 instead of 22. And we also can see that now quite a number of teams may actually have back-to-back double game weeks. So once again, I've bolded the teams that have rather decent fixtures during this period. So on top of Palace, Manchester United and Watford, I mentioned previously, now Leicester, Tottenham, Southampton and West Ham are also finding themselves in favourable runs of fixtures. So we have to take note though that not all the teams with these double game weeks have a good run. So teams like Brentford, they could be, playing Liverpool and Manchester United in game week 22, and that is not good. And also teams like Chelsea and Arsenal have a really poor run of fixtures during this period as well. So I'd be looking for players from the teams that I've bolded. So just to put a caveat, it does seem less likely that game week 21 and game week 22 would look something like this updated chart. And it is more likely that it will turn out to look something closer to the previous chart that I showed you guys. But let's continue to keep a lookout also for the latest news, just so that we can keep updated. Alright, so for the last part of this video, I've actually put together some tips for all of us to consider. So whether the fixtures actually turn out to be like the one on this chart or the previous chart that I showed you guys, these tips still apply. So basically we have about 3 to 4 transfers that we can use to get our teams ready for the double game week 21 and 22. So we will also have to consider that one of these transfers has to be saved to get Salah out of our team, because AFCON does look like it is going to carry on. So essentially we only have about 2 to 3 transfers that we can use to get our teams ready for the double game weeks. And that's why it is so important for us to gear our teams up. And yeah, essentially the transfers that we make this week, next week and the week after are all important transfers for us. So not that transfers are not important, but these are actually more important. And yeah, I would also recommend to start getting rid of Arsenal and Chelsea assets, because Arsenal's run and also Chelsea's run isn't great when we look at the game week 21 and 22 schedule, the possible schedule. And also maybe we can consider keeping Arsenal players just for one more game week because they play Norwich this week, but in the next game week or so we should start getting them out of our teams already. And also by now our teams will have quite a number of Man City assets as well. And they only have single game weeks during the 21 to 22 period, and they play Chelsea and Arsenal, so that really isn't great. So I would say that we can also choose to move City assets out of our team, but I would definitely prioritize getting Arsenal and Chelsea assets out of our team first. And the next tip I have is also to bring in players from the teams I've bolded. So these teams actually have really good fixtures coming up, and if we are able to swap out our Arsenal or Chelsea assets for these players, that would be great. It will keep us quite prepared for the game week 21 and 22. And lastly, try your best also, unless your team is really in a horrible state, but try your best if possible not to use the game week 21 wildcard chip that will be given to us by the game, just so that we can use it in better opportunities in the later part of the season. Because in the later part of the season, Liverpool, City and Chelsea players will have more favourable fixtures and double game weeks, and it may be better to activate the wildcard chip then. So for now, just try to make sure to use your coming transfers wisely. And yeah, I hope all this information is useful to actually help you guys make those transfers, those coming 2 to 3 transfers that are absolutely key. So that's it for this video, guys. Before you leave, please help me out and give this video a like, and also hit that subscribe button to donate to charity during this Christmas period and support the channel. And for now, if I don't see you guys in another video, I wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Stay safe and healthy, everyone.